Yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about red flags. Okay. I know you have heard about red flags or even experienced some. It's very easy if you have already been in relationships where these red flags were common and you are able to identify them, right? So red flags are just like warning signs. Some people will say red sea, like when it's so obvious and there are many, right, to ignore. And some people will also say that it's always like ringing an alarm or ringing a bell, just like how the ambulance rings its alarm and all of that. What are we trying to say? Anytime there's a red flag, it means that you have to pause and reflect on the relationship. It could also mean that the relationship may be unhealthy or unsafe for you to be in. This can lead to emotional exhaustion, trauma, and all kinds of mental health challenges. Now, there are types of red flags. We have emotional, behavioral, physical, psychological, spiritual, and a whole lot. I'm just going to mention few like into little details, okay? So for emotional and psychological red flags, there may be chronic invalidation, as in dismissing your emotions. You are too sensitive. Why are you always taking this very hard? I didn't even mean it. And then extreme jealousy may disguise as love. There are some people you are dating who are just with you because they are jealous of you. They are envy of you. They just want to come and see what's going on in your life and then humble you. Okay? It's like giving an underdog the opportunity to step up to your game, and now they are finally in the game and they are treating you less. Number three could be emotional manipulating or gaslighting. This is more about making you doubt your reality, your memory, or your feelings. Like I know what you meant by it, but they'll tell you that you didn't understand. That's not just how it is. Maybe you took it the wrong way. They'll make sure that you doubt what you saw. They'll make sure you doubt your wisdom. Okay, for behavioral, it's more about history of cheating without accountability. They will cheat, and then the moment someone cheats and you don't respect yourself by walking away, it's always like you are giving them an opportunity to do it more. This could also be substance use without willingness to seek help, whether alcoholism, whether drug abuse, and other forms of substance use, and giving an excuse to keep doing it, and then inconsistency, words, actions, behaviors. Today they are soft, tomorrow they are hard, they are blowing hot and warm air, very confusing and dismantling. Like you can't even tell their intentions or clarity with you. Okay. And then spiritual, mocking or undermining your faith or beliefs. They are not in alignment with your value based system. They they tease you. Why do you believe in this? Like all those kind of things. And then using religion to control or silence you. Hey, if you are not wise, people will use Bible and fool you. People will teach submission differently than it's supposed to be. You got to be wise. You got to do research yourself. I know like relationships are very complicated. No two relationships are the same. And so some of these things, like I said, warning signs are for you to pause and reflect, because it means that the relationship is unsafe, it's emotionally draining and exhausting. It means that you are in an unhealthy situationship, and that you need to offer yourself some grace. So safety red flags, right? Any form of violence, any form, whether physical, sexual, emotional, final, any form of abuse is one you should not close your eye to or turn blind eye to. And then threats to self-harm or to harm you, either suicidal or homicidal. Now, stalking or intimidation. There's a difference between "Hi, how are you?" than "Where have you been? I was looking for you." Like it's just So, some girls will say, "Oh, I want a love that is domineering, but that is calm. I want a love like masculine love." It's just a thin line, right? Between a man who genuinely and intentionally love you, than a man who wants you all to themselves and will do everything to control you and subdue you. Okay, so those who are seeking for those ones, be very careful. If you are not and you find yourself in such a relationship, you need to be very careful. And then love never requires you to sacrifice your safety. People hack, like they'll hack your phone, track you down, forcing some activity down your throat, making you want to look cool. Like, they're just different people. You, like, anytime you are in such a relationship, you need to ask yourself, do I find myself, like, is this benefiting me? Is this basically chemistry or compatibility? Is it basically intensity or genuineness? Like, what is this? Why am I in this? Right? So it involves a whole lot about people being in this kind of relationships, and they really need to understand that dating is you knowing whether to marry the person or not. If it didn't work, it means your marriage will not also work. There's no need to force it. I know there's a grieving process, like when you are served breakfast, but you see the healing is long, but it's good for you. Trust me. And there are also communication red flags. One of them is refusing or refusal to resolve conflicts. They'll give all kinds of excuses and they will drag you. Even though you are a victim and they are the perpetrator or the abuser, they will drag it to the extent that the victim will come back to forgive them and try to make amends. That is a red flag. Stonewalling, shutting down and refusing to talk. The narcissists do it a lot. They don't want to talk about it. They'll make you overthink about it. Like, these kind of red flags, they may seem like an everyday behavior. Oh yeah, he usually does that, but it is you disrespecting yourself. It is you belittling yourself. It is you thinking that you can't find any other person than him and limiting your choices and future. Okay, so there are some reflection that I want you to do. Okay, the reflection is that, do I feel safe being myself in this relationship? You need to ask yourself this question. Do I feel safe? Do I feel happy? Do I feel a sense of growth or maturity in this relationship? And then you also ask, am I shrinking to keep my peace? Do I have to make myself small to fit into the pedestal of this person? Does it look like I'm not being myself, right? And then number 3, are my needs consistently ignored? We all have needs: emotional, physical needs, psychological and mental needs. Are your needs being met by the person you most love? And what does this mean if it is not being met? Okay, number 4, is this relationship growing or draining me? When I look at myself in the mirror, do I love what is going on with me? Do I feel I can conquer the world with this person? I'm not saying there should always be happiness, but when you look at the history and your story, do you think happiness is a part of it? All right. So healthy love is more of you being in a secure relationship, you being in a relationship that respects and values you and hears your concern, more of a respectable and accountable relationship. A relationship that will also nurture you and grow you, that that you can grow together, that you can do stuff together, share your story together. Okay, but if you find that these are red flags, red flags are more like pausing and then thinking to reshape the relationship, but deal breakers are actually the ones that you just have to leave, like the violence that I spoke about. Those ones you cannot otherwise. Okay, I know it's hard, especially if this was more of your love life or your dream relationship, and you are thinking that what will people say, and you are thinking that where do I start from. It's worth it. Every relationship is a mirror of who you are. So if you are in one that doesn't suit your identity, I think you have to rethink. Okay, So have a very good day, and remember, I always share mental health tips on this platform.